In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a very perfect, soft and delicious way to make puff puff. This is another new method that will give you puff puff the softness, crunchy on the outside and the delicious taste you are looking for. So relax, keep watching. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and please do not forget to share. Alright, so to start with, into my bowl I've transferred in my already sieved flour, and I'm using all-purpose flour. And then I went in with some sugar, a pinch of salt. Now I'm going to be using instant yeast. If you're going to be using active dry yeast, you have to activate the yeast in a cup of warm water. Alright, so after adding the yeast, I went in with some vanilla powder. And now I will stir that nicely until everything is well combined. And when it comes to flavor, you can use any flavor of choice. You can add nutmeg, or if you have vanilla extract, you can use that. Alright, so once that is well combined, I'll then go in with some lukewarm water. And that number one secret ingredient I'm going to be using for this recipe is some whipping cream. So you need some whipping cream in this your puff puff. And also we are going to whisk together 2 eggs and add it to it. You see these 2 ingredients, the whipping cream and eggs, are going to give your puff puff that extra softness you need in your puff puff. So just whisk the egg and add it to the rest of the ingredients, and now grab a hand whisk and whisk this. We are going to whisk this batter until it's super smooth. So for the liquid, which is the water, I'm adding gradually because I don't want to over add water to this. I just want to reach my perfect or my preferred consistency. So if you want this to be very, very thick, so I'm going to list everything out for you to see. You're going to know the amount of water I added to this batter that got me this very consistency. But if you want it to be very, very thick, if you want the batter to be thick, so you have to reduce the amount of water you are going to add to your own batter. So for me, I'm going for this consistency, and this is the perfect one I need to achieve that perfect soft puff puff. Alright, so you want to grab your hand whisk and whisk this batter for like 2 to 3 minutes. We need this to be very, very smooth in texture. We need it to be very, very smooth without any lumps or any dry ingredient. So I'm going to continue whisking this for 3 minutes. And once this is nice and well smooth, just like you're seeing right now on your screen, I'm going to scrape down or take down the side of the bowl. Just scrape it with a spatula or your hand. And once we are done with this, we are going to cover this, the bowl, and then place this in a warm place to rest for like 60 minutes. If the weather in your area is very, very cold, just preheat or warm your oven and put this in the warm oven. Make sure it's not hot. Just warm the oven, then put this in the oven and allow it to sit there for like 40 to 60 minutes. Alright, so after 60 minutes, this is how my batter is looking. Very, very well fermented, and this is looking very, very beautiful with some nice bubbles on the batter. And this is how your batter should be for puff puff. Alright, so I'm going to squeeze out whatever that is left or that is on the plastic wrap we use, and this is how I'm going to cut this into my oil. Just wrap this in between your palm, and then you can just turn your hand upside down and cut through the hole in your hand, okay, or in between your palm. Alright, so before you start frying the puff puff, you're going to make sure you prepare what you're going to be putting the puff puff after frying. So here I have a strainer lined with a paper towel. The paper towel is going to help absorb the oil from the puff puff. Alright, so just set aside and go ahead and preheat your oil. I already have my oil on the heat, and at this point the oil is hot. So I'm going to go ahead and cut in the batter If you're gonna go for bigger size, go ahead and cut into the oil the bigger or the size you want. All right, so I'm going to cut this into the oil. I'm going for medium size. I don't want it to be too small or too big. This is the exact size I'm going for, and it's so perfect and very, very beautiful. So once you cut this into the oil, I am frying on medium high heat. I want this to be crunchy on the outside and super soft. And just looking at this puff alone is so fluffy, airy, and is super chewy and delicious. So you want to fry these, and when it comes to the color you want, it all depends on you if you want this to be very, very brown or if you want it light brown. So for me, I love it to be very, very brown, just like this. So once it's looking just like this, I will take them out of the oil, transfer to the paper towel you prepare, and then continue to fry until you're done with everything. All right, so once we're done, this is how it's looking. Very, very beautiful, looking so fluffy, very, very soft, and I tell you, it's super tasty and delicious. I love the taste, the flavor, everything. You know, I love everything that is in this puff. Is so amazing and very delicious. Alright guys, so to preserve your puff, just grab yourself an airtight container or whatever container you're going to be using, whatever thing you're going to be placing your puff, line that container with a paper towel. Now arrange your puff and then grab another paper towel and cover your puff. This will keep your puff fresh, soft, and intact for hours or a day. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this simple recipe. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Enjoy!